towards Sioux Falls.
Welcome back to North Dakota Today. We got some quick breaking news for you. Michael Bloomberg dropping out of the 2020 presidential race. He is now officially endorsing Joe Biden. All right, welcome back to North Dakota Today. The Basketball Academy here locally is doing a lot more than just teaching kids how to dribble or shoot a free throw. Their goal is also to reduce the number of minority children who come face to face with the criminal justice system. So with us today, we've got Monty Gordon, the owner and head trainer at Inspired Athletics. Welcome back to the show, man. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
So talk about how your hoops program is helping to reduce minorities, people from coming face to face with the criminal justice system.
So I had the opportunity to partner with the Fargo Police Department, who created a youth program where we focused in on the minority kids that either can't afford, the basketball training or just sports in general, or the kids that seem to get into a lot of trouble and don't believe that they have a lot of resources in the community to help them. A lot of those kids love sports, so now we're using sports as a tool to help them engage in better activities and make better choices.
What kind of response you getting? And are you having the Fargo PD show up to some of these practices and stuff as well? Or?
Yeah, they're very involved. It's not like they're just passing on the work. They always have a resource officer there at all times, which I feel is great because now it's changing the perspective of who they are in the community. It's showing that they are for the community. They are really trying to protect these kids and, lead them down the right path. It's not just like, okay, we create this program, we pass you off to another person in the community, and then we forget about you. Like they're always, they're active, they're engaging with the kids, engaging, in activities, which I feel like is very, very, very important. So
I don't know if you saw this program, but in Chicago, obviously there's a lot of, violence and law enforcement meeting with minority students. And so Magic Johnson funded a program where they were giving out kids, or they're giving jobs to these young men, and the arrest went way down. So are you seeing some good results with having these young men and women interact with the Fargo PD? And
I have been, and the thing about it is I think these kids are willing to embrace the police officers when they're in uniform way more than what you typically see, because they don't see, the blue suit and the gold badge anymore. They see somebody that actually cares for them, and I think that's the biggest struggle for those kids. They feel like nobody cares or loves them or actually want them to be successful. It's just like a revolving door for them, where it's like they're always pushed out because of they may have a anger management problem, or they might not have the best manners and stuff like that. So
I got to ask you, because you hear a lot of black men across America talk about when they have a son, I need to have that conversation with him.
Yeah.
So are you having, what I mean by that is they talk about, hey, if you ever get pulled over by the police, are you having that conversation with these young men in your program? Or?
To be honest, I don't feel like it's needed.
Oh, that's good.
And the reason for that is because I think the FPD is doing a great job by creating that comfort between them and the kids by offering all these programs, and the kids not having to worry about even being able to get there. There's rides provided, there's food provided for after school activities, and like I said, with them engaging in the activities, I think makes it that much easier. So it's like, why have a conversation to hold them back from embracing the police officers when they're already embracing them within the activity? So I feel like if that conversation is had, then it's like, okay, still don't trust them even though they're doing all these things for you. Still be aware that this can happen. And I feel like in this community that there's no reason right now to have that conversation.
Man, that is incredible to hear from you, and hopefully you can start to take this throughout across the rest of America. I'm curious, have you seen the conversations from these young men and women change at all? Like when they came in, did they have a certain idea or stigma of a police officer, and has that changed, and if so, how?
Yeah, I mean, it's even with me, right? You see me with a police officer communicating with them, shaking their hands, or just sitting down in a one-on-one meeting, and people are looking out the side of their eyes like, oh, is he in trouble or what's going on?
Really?
But now, like the kids at first, they were like kind of standoffish, but they'd see me in the community and run up, oh, Monty, how you doing? When's the next camp? I miss coming, doing the camps with you, et cetera, et cetera. So I mean, it's been a dramatic change. And I mean, the response from the officers, the kids are even doing better in school. So it's been very beneficial.
So obviously, I don't know you that well, but has your internal conversation around law enforcement changed from maybe when you were a young man to go through this?
Very much so, because we don't have these type of programs back in Milwaukee. At least I don't know of any. So I actually benefited from partnering with the FPD to be like, okay, let me get a breath. I'm able to breathe around them versus always being nervous, stomach dropping. And my sister is actually a police officer back at home. And when she decided to make that decision, obviously I wasn't too happy about it just because I didn't really know the impact that they're trying to put on the community. I always looked at it as a negative way, like, oh, they're always trying to, get us in trouble or hold us back and stuff like that. So it helped me just as much as it helped the kids in the community. So I love it just as much.
Man, I'm proud of you, man. Thank you for what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Where can people, if they want more information, how do they get a hold of you? Come check it out.
You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, just Inspired Athletics. If you type that in, you can pretty much find us anywhere.
Good for you, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Maybe you'll bring your sister out and she can.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that she moves out here.
Nice.
I hope she does. And I'm actually doing a class with the Juvenile Detention Center on Fridays. And so I'm actually going inside the detention center and working with those kids. And I think I can put a big impact on those kids' lives too, because they're in the system now. But I want to give them hope to know that you still have time to, turn your life around. So I really enjoy doing that also.
God bless you, man. Good for you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, stick around. We got much more coming up right after this.